All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of PubTalk. I'm your host here, Chase Wilson. Be sure to like and subscribe to that Chasing the Truth channel, guys. I really appreciate that. Uh, when I started this whole thing out, I never really planned on it to, I was just looking for something to get into. I have various hobbies, but during the winter, it seems like I don't do anything. So, besides weightlift, so I just wanted to dabble into something, and I watch a lot of podcasts, and it just kind of occurred to me one day to think, oh, well, why not? Why not just, try to get into it? Why not just try to buy it all and do it? So this is what kind of led me all to this. I'm a huge Joe Rogan fan. Shout out to Joe Rogan. That would be awesome if that got to him. But he's got a lot on his plate right now, if you haven't heard. But yeah, so that's kind of what got me started into this whole process. And I'm really grateful for all the equipment that I was able to get, and all the knowledge that people shared to me throughout this entire journey so far. I know I talked to Dustin Roller a couple times. If you guys could, if you don't already, go and follow Throttled Up and Thirsty Goat Entertainment on Facebook. They do have websites and whatnot, and you can find all that out. But their Facebook, he's got some really good stuff. Throttled Up is their dirt track podcast, and that is fantastic just to listen to, especially during race season, because they bring guests and stuff on, and I'm gonna try to dabble into a little bit of that. As long as I can get an okay from them, because they started their podcast way before I even had any ideas about doing it. And while I'm active in the dirt racing community pretty heavy, I don't want to step on toes, because they're my friends, and I don't want to intrude on any of their ideas in their podcasts. So I will ask that. I know I'm working on getting some more equipment. I know I say that every time, man, but it's almost like it's just a bad habit, man. I'm just finding more things that I can do, capabilities and technologies just come so far that if there's a idea that you have, you can almost literally just make it happen at this point. And what I'm going to go ahead and tell you, I'll spoiler alert, ruin the surprise, but I'm looking at lavalier mics. And that is basically like a wireless, because I can't stay in cords. And throughout this entire process, I have had to deal with a lot of cords. And I really hate dealing with cords. They sound better, yes. But for the convenience and not having to have so many wires all the time, the lavalier just plugs in, and then it has an antenna, and then I'm getting some that have like a 60-foot range, just in case, I'm getting another lavalier that plugs into the iPhone, and then it just clips on here. It's wireless, and it has a little rechargeable case and everything. So, tripod, iPhone, and your little bitty pocket lavalier, and you're good to go. You can almost do a podcast anywhere that you want, and that's awesome. Because I plan on doing a lot of hiking this year, and I might bring some of this along with me. I might load up the small tripod or whatever, and bring that little lavalier. It doesn't take up any space at all, So that'd be awesome. That's my plans that I got coming up. I'd really like to test out the lavalier here shortly whenever I do get it, eventually whenever I get it. But, man, I'll tell you guys, this stuff, unless you're planning on doing this just for yourself, if you're just going to do it by yourself, if this is like what I'm doing right now, this is a simple setup. I have an iPhone that I'm currently recording off of with a cable out, running into my Zoom PodTrack P4 here, which is an awesome piece of equipment. By the way, I need to do a product review on that really bad, because that has been well worth the money that I spent on that. That allows me, this one box right here allows me to do everything imaginable with podcasting. So awesome piece of equipment. I can't give these guys enough credit. for producing such a great piece of equipment like that. But if you're doing this by yourself, it's easy. You can get a USB plug and play mic, and you can just plug that thing into a laptop and just use the laptop camera. If you have a really good laptop, that's fine. I just bought a Chromebook because I don't really need a laptop for anything that I do. I just maybe some spreadsheets every now and then for some financing things, and or just what I do, just general research. And being on YouTube and whatnot. Chromebook's all I need. So the camera on the Chromebook, not that great. But if you get a higher end laptop, you're going to be golden. So, and you can also run, I'm trying to think. Well, with my Chromebook, I just have an adapter. I have like 5 USB drives that can plug into the one USB drive, like a USB splitter. You can actually run this out and then run a webcam. You can buy a decent webcam. So I bought a webcam for my Chromebook, and I've used it a couple times messing around or whatever, and it's not bad. But man, there's just the iPhone, the phone cameras are so good anymore. That's what I'm filming off of right now is my iPhone, and so I'm really hoping that the iPhone, the wireless lavaliers that I do also have coming, is going to be good. It's got 4.5 stars on Amazon, so really hoping that that's going to be something cool. And because I can always just have, it's no bigger than a wireless earbud case, is literally what it's comparable to. So I could keep that in my pocket, and then have a tripod handy somewhere, and I could do an interview anywhere. It comes with 2 clip-ons. I have 2 mics, so maybe, this year if I'm at the racetrack or whatever, I might pull this thing out, and if you're sitting in the grandstands, I might come do a fan interview. I might hit some of these drivers up, hit some of the track officials up, and just get everybody kind of more involved in things. When I go hiking and stuff, I might wear that on and hike, with a selfie stick and talk to you guys and kind of let everybody know what's going on. I know I got some really cool trips planned. I really, 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 really want to go to Colorado. I'm working on that, but the wife, she wants a vacation back to the beach before I can do that. So we got to make that happen before I can go anywhere west. But that's gonna be awesome. I've been really, really working on getting some equipment and being able to have the functionality to do whatever I want. I got the studio here set up. I got things where I can take this and go mobile if I want to go do a mobile interview. I'm keeping it all open. This is a really fun hobby, but while I've been trying to buy all this stuff, I just forget the most important part, and that is acquiring these skills to sit in front of a camera and be able to talk and be knowledgeable and ask questions, and another thing that I will tell people that if they, plan on getting into podcasting is it's kind of tough, man. Like right now I'm sitting in the studio room, all by myself, and talking by yourself is exhausting for one, mentally, because there's a million things going through your mind, but you got to be on the ball. And sometimes I just don't script things out, and other times I do. If I have like a big one, for example, when I did the podcast about addiction, that was fully scripted out, and when I say scripted, it means that everybody had a typed up sheet from me with all the questions and basically hitting every topic and everything that I was going to throw at them, so they were ready. And the reason I do things like that is if I have guests on, I want them to be comfortable, because a lot of people are really, really shy and just, they want to do something like this, but they're afraid they're going to get judged, or they just have this like phobia where they don't want to talk in front of people. And in my mind, when I started all this, that wasn't a thing for me, because I'm like, oh, well, I live in Jennings County, so I'm probably going to get judged one way or the other, so I don't really care. I'm going to do what I want, and this is a super fun hobby, and I would highly encourage anyone to get into this that wants to. This really is fun, guys. I have a bunch of buddies, and we might do another one where we come on, and what PubTalk actually was well, the way that I wanted to do PubTalk, the way that I really wanted to start it out was just so me and my buddies could just sit down, and throw a couple mics into us and let you guys hear some of the conversations we have, whether we be, whether we're drinking some beer, or just having a good time back here or whatever. We talk about some really funny things. We get into some weird things, and it's all for fun. That's what this entire deal has been for me so far. It's just fun. But I finally got enough gear now where I'm finally decently content, and I really want to start putting some more of these out there. So I just wanted to clear the air on that. But one of the other things that I was talking about was, if you're doing this by yourself, simple, easy. Now, when you start throwing other mics into the mix, that's when it gets complicated. That's when you start getting, have to figure out about audio interfaces and mixers and knowing different cable types and, what you can and can't do wirelessly. And then you got to throw, and that's all audio. And that took me a long time just to figure out how to do some of this audio stuff. Now, when you throw video into the mix, it's like, that's a whole nother demon, right? And I'm still working on that because I don't have a video camera. Like I said, I was using a webcam, messing around with it. Right now I'm shooting this on my iPhone, and the video quality on the iPhones are so good anymore. It's crazy how good they are, and I'm honestly, I'm excited for that wireless lavalier. I'm super stoked. I'm like a kid with Amazon, man. It's a problem. I swear it's an addiction and it's a problem. But like I said, do it by yourself. Simple. You can buy a plug and play mic, USB, slap it right into your computer, use the drive on there or the camera on your laptop, and you're good to go. If you just want to sit at home and do your own little talk show and whatnot. That's not what I wanted to do, and doing these by myself sucks. I hate doing them. I don't hate it, but it's not very enjoyable. Because now I feel like my own news media anchor. I want to have people to come in here and talk and bounce off of, guys. And girls, it doesn't matter. There's a vast world of knowledge out there, and there's a lot of events happening, and I really, really want to know other people's opinions about what's going on. And not just talking like politics and with COVID in the United States, but like even right here in our hometown, this could be something so cool for Jennings County. There's a lot that happens here. There's a lot of government officials that we can bring on. There's a lot of helpful people out there. I'm thinking about expanding a little bit of my my criteria to maybe doing some kind of tutorials. Going out to maybe some farms or some businesses, or I just want to teach people. I want to get those people that the average Americans that work, or the government officials that's their day-to-day job. Let people have an insight on what they do a day, and maybe some people understand, and just how everything works and the processes and whatever. So that was kind of my whole goal with this. Just a fun hobby to kind of spread knowledge. That's why podcasts are so cool, I think. That's why they take off. That's why they're cool for me. I learn a lot through podcasts, and reliable podcasts, because there are a lot of podcasts out there that just spread a bunch of bullshit. That will not be this one. I can promise you that. There's nobody in the world that likes fact-checking and doing research more than me. Trust me, if I get bored, I can open this Chromebook right here and get lost in an entire internet universe for hours. Which is what I did when I talked about the last one. When I was researching how the Federal Reserve works. Man, I was in here for at least 4.5 hours just writing notes, reading. I was then I'd hop over to YouTube and I'd look up, how does this work, and then watch some dude on a whiteboard, draw lines and how things work and the processes of things. And that's how you learn things. The internet is so cool, but it's a bitch. It's the best of both worlds, because we literally have the answer to any question at our fingertips, right? Like we got a phone all day, we have computers, all these things, and yet we don't use them to the best that we can. Technology can be really good or it can be really bad. It just kind of depends on how you use it. So I trying to use it for the good. I give it the benefit of the doubt. I know it's got a lot of evil in it, but I'm gonna use it for the benefit of doubt, which is why I wanted to do the podcasting deal. So anyway, I'm done running my mouth about that stuff. Let's get into some stuff that's more enjoyable to listen to now that I've done wasted a lot of your time talking, blabbing about equipment once again and this podcast. But so let's do one here. Let's jump into this. We watched the Super Bowl last night. Super Bowl was pretty good. In my opinion, I think both teams were really sloppy, and that really made for an interesting game. Came down to the wire. Los Angeles was their defense was just amazing. They caught fire there in the second half, which I was surprised because. As soon as halftime was over, the Bengals came out and just right off the bat, bam, 13 seconds into it, scored, and I was like, well, okay, all right, they're going to be a second half team tonight. They're about to come out here and Burrow's about to just dominate in their defense, Wasn't the case. It just, it was just got sloppy on both sides. The offenses were such two big powerhouses. We all kind of knew that game was going to come down to defense. So it was an interesting game. The halftime show was lit. Seen a lot of people, I've seen some backlash. I've seen people saying, wasn't that good? And then I've seen people that are just like, oh my God, yeah, the halftime show was so lit. So, it's to each in your own, I thought it was pretty good, but that's the era of music that I listen to. So I think to have Eminem, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, 50 Cent, Kendrick Lamar, Mary J. Blige all in like one area. That's so cool. And I couldn't imagine being there live. That would have been so cool. I love 50 Cent. I love Kendrick Lamar. Snoop, dude, who doesn't like Snoop, man? Snoop's always so funny and it's completely stoned out of his mind all the time, but the dude's hilarious. He's all time. And then Eminem, who's undoubtedly probably the best rapper that's ever lived. So, and then you got 50, who's just hood gang, just hard, dude. All his songs and everything was just hard. Watching Get Rich or Die Trying, it was super funny just to see him come out there again. He put a little weight on. But, it's whatever, man. When you're sitting fat like that and have all that money, you can do whatever you want. But I thought it was a pretty good Super Bowl. There was some questionable calls. The refs kind of got a little soft towards the end, I feel like. There were some calls that should have been made that weren't. I seen that. Let's see what else was going on. For the life of me, I still can't figure out how they didn't. I don't really know how. I'm not like a super huge NFL fan, so I'm not really sure. I always watch the Super Bowl, of course. Everybody always does. But I don't understand how they determine the field house or the field. I feel like that was very unfair for Los Angeles to have that in their hometown. Even though the crowd was split half and half, I just felt like that was very just unfair, because in my opinion, I think they should have met halfway. Ohio, and then you got, California. They could have met halfway, man, and been fine. But I don't know. I don't know anything. I'm just voicing my opinion. But I would have liked to not been in LA. I feel like it would have been a little more interesting. I don't know, man. It was a good game. The Bengals, what can you say, man? They're young. Joe Burrow is lucky he didn't really get hurt. We thought he was really hurt there towards the end. But for the life of me, I couldn't figure out they should have just kicked the field goal at the end and tied it, played it safe, went into overtime. But I don't know. That offensive line just wasn't firing. I don't think like they normally did. They weren't the greatest, but LA had a lot of stuff too. So it was just an interesting game. I thought it was a really good game. Now I'm just really hyped for sectionals coming up for our boys basketball team here, and college basketball. It's coming. March is almost here, so madness is about to begin. And I can't wait to have some buddies on and talk about some of those college game days coming up. I'm super excited for that. So, yeah, that's sports world. A little bit of UFC if you want to dabble into a little bit of that. Watched Izzy and Whitaker. I didn't get to watch the fights because I was watching the last night at East Bay down there for Speed Weeks in Florida. And really, it was a pretty good fight, honestly. Izzy won. There was a lot of controversy about it. Whitaker was working him a little bit. But a lot of people have to understand, though, Izzy is the undefeated champ. And to beat someone of his caliber, you're going to have to do a little bit more than just stand toe-to-toe with him. I feel like they're going to give him the benefit of the doubt every time, the champion, We've seen that, for example, also. I'm a huge John Jones fan. Don't like what he's been doing lately, but I still stand with him. He's one of the best UFC fighters that's ever been on this freaking planet, man. That dude's just a bad dude. And but we seen that in the Jones and Reyes fights, or the Jones and Reyes fight. There was only one, but no, there was two. Yeah, I think there was two, actually. Man, this one's not scripted. So, but we've seen that in the Jones and Reyes. Reyes was working Jones a little bit, popping in and out, catching him off guard. Jones would land a few. It's pretty neck and neck, but ultimately Jones won in decision because he was the champ. He's the reigning undefeated champ. Technically with one loss, but disqualification for reasons that really weren't that important, but there was a disqualified nonetheless, and then all the steroid pops, obviously. But man, that's a whole nother thing too that I could spend forever talking about, is the whole steroids deals with pro athletes. I don't want to dabble into that right now, but that might be something I talk with the boys one day and have a big argument about that. But a Super Bowl is pretty good. So I'll say that. I enjoyed it. Enjoyed all the food. That's the favorite part about the Super Bowl is all the food and the beer. I do like beer every now and then. So, but I had a really good week last week. Watched all the Speed Week. That was cool. Can dabble into that a little bit. If nobody really watches dirt racing, this might be a little boring for you. But how about Brandon Shepherd, guys? That's 3 wins in a row. Led for a lot of the last race on Saturday, and ended up getting into some loose stuff up top. Jumped the cushion just a tad bit and hit the wall and fell back from first to about 8th, I think. And that was all she wrote. And then Devin Moran's the man, baby. Just Mr. Smooth. He's just good, man. He was good all week. Top 5 finish all week. Won the first couple races. Started off real strong and then ran top 5. I think finished second a couple times. And, it was just a really good speed week. They got a lot of rain down there in Florida. So the first couple of days, the tracks were, they were a little rough. But you got to expect that when, you get just a lot of rain, just a downpour, for just a whole day. I think it rained down there, and it's just crazy. People bitch and complain about the track preparations, but you guys don't understand how much time you have to put into that. And every track's different, how it drains, how it forms, and how it sets, and how much moisture it holds, and how dry it gets, or how fast it can get dry. there's all kinds of factors. You got to factor wind into it, sun, what the weather's doing, what it's predicted to do. If it's predicted to rain, do you not water it? Do you dry it? Do you run it in this way? How many times should you run it in backwards? Should you use a sheep's foot for this long? How much do I take off the top with the grader? Do I want to push around? How much moisture should I put in between? There's a lot of things that can factor into that. For track prep, and I feel like track officials and the preppers just don't get thanked enough, guys. That's a tough job, I know. It just really is. So hats off to them. Hats off to the guys at East Bay. They did a really heck of a job. That first day was so rough. That first day on that track was so rough, and then they got it finally to where it was pretty decent later on down the road, but with a lot of work. It's a lot of work. But so congratulations to all the drivers and all you lucky fans that got to be down in Florida for the Speed Weeks. So that'll dabble out of sports now and talk about some more stuff that's going on. Obviously, Brandon's doing a really fine job in office as usual. Inflation's still on the rise. Big facts, if you haven't heard. Gas is about to go up. I've heard that from reliable sources. I heard that it will jump almost 60 cents. What is today? The 14th, and it's supposed to happen sometime this week. This is February 14th, and it's supposed to happen sometime this week. So if you know anybody or check gas prices, you might want to go ahead and top off and all your vehicles and whatnot, because it is about to jump up again. And that will bring it almost, what's $3.39 right now? $3.39.60, yeah. So that'll be right at $4 a gallon, guys. Here we go. I've said this from the get-go. That's the highest gas is gonna, highest gas has been since the Obama administration. So get ready. Like I said, everything's going up, and tensions are still going on with Russia and Ukraine. I don't know what to believe. I kind of got tired of looking at it because it seems like it's the only thing that's being talked about anymore. Ukraine's saying that, where the U.S. media is just hyping all this up, and the administration's hyping it up, that there's no real immediate threat, like an immediate threat. But then the facts are there. Russia's got a pretty decent amount of their military, something like 80% of their military on the Ukraine border. So something's going to happen. I don't know if he's going to just pop some smoke and laugh, or seeing just how far he can go. He's testing NATO right now. I've seen pictures of him and whatever the little dude is over in China, their president or whatever you want to call him, dictator, communist leader, whatever you want to call him. They were hugging it, or not hugging, but slapping dicks, whatever you want to call it. Handshaking, over talking, laughing, having a good time. That's scary. Russia and China both really don't like us right now. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. And I'm not going to dabble too much into that because I'm kind of tired of talking about it. It is a really, really big deal because obviously we could be going to war. We've sent 3,000 troops over to Ukraine from Fort Bragg. I did read a little bit about that. So we do have boots on the ground in Ukraine. How many is beyond me. They say 3,000, but that's coming from the media, and we all know that the media lies. So let's see. What else can we talk about? Let's talk about freaking electric. My goodness, my electric bill. Unreal. I looked up with all the inflation rates, man. Energy went up like 40%. That outrageous electric bill. And I've been hearing a lot of people have outrageous electric bills. I feel you guys, man. That sucks. It really sucks for me. This really, everything's expensive, man. My rent got raised. We got new landlords, and they raised my rent like $200 more a month. That was like a huge ouch. Now my electric bill is like almost as much as my rent, I feel like, anymore. Not really, but it feels that way. Utilities are all going up. Groceries are going up. Man, I feel like I just got bent over every time I leave the grocery store. So bad. I called Duke Energy and was complaining about my electric bill. I know I've seen a lot of people posting on Facebook about the other third-party thing on the Duke Energy bill. I'd already checked that, but I called Duke and explained to him why I was so frustrated and asking questions about what's going on. And the lady on the phone just told me, no, that's accurate. This is, the wattage, kilowatts that you use. And, it's the same amount as last year. Just the rates have gone up. And I said, well, ma'am, from now on, every time you send me a Duke Energy bill in the mail, you might as well just go ahead and send me a free thing of lube or Vaseline. Because it feels like you guys are just annihilating, like, every American right now that's got Duke Energy or whatever, man. Pisses me off. It's crazy. I got better things to spend my money on. I got about 1,000 candles I've been waiting to burn. Just kidding. But, yeah, I don't really know, man. I've been reading some good books. Currently just got done reading a pretty good book. You can get it at Walmart here. It's just American Marxism. Pretty good book. Get a dictionary because there's some words in there that I had to look up because they bamboozled me and I didn't know what they meant, so I had to look them up. But yep, it's getting close to spring, guys. We're almost there. Today's Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Hope everybody has a good Valentine's Day and has some good sexy time. About love, baby. Every time I think of Valentine's Day and happy and stuff and about love, I just always think of Mac Miller's Larry Lovestein. Trying to bring back the love, baby. R.I.P. Mac, miss him. So far, man, just been really bored. Wintertime sucks. There's just nothing to do. It's nasty out all the time. It's cold, wet, thaws and unthaws. Tomorrow, I think, it's supposed to be like 50, 55 or 54, and then Wednesday is going to be like 61. So I might go do a little hike Wednesday. I might go do that, take some pictures, give me something to do, get out of the house. I love getting out of the house. So, but that's all I'm going to really talk about today. Just kind of giving you guys some more of my voice to hear. Probably pretty annoying at this point because there's no one else talking and it's it really sucks talking by yourself. But I got some people that are gonna come on. I was just really really bored today and got off work and had the house clean and got all the Valentine's Day essentials. But so now I guess I'm just gonna go play some Battlefield 2042. Please, if there's anybody out there that plays Battlefield 2042 on it's cross-platform, so it doesn't matter. It would be awesome if you actually play Battlefield 2042 to add me and get a hold of me if you want my gamer tag. I would really like to have a good squad. Just throwing that out there. I'm level 93 in the new Battlefield. I'm almost getting ready to tier up, so yeah. But yep, so that's probably going to do it for this episode. Hopefully we'll have another one coming at you here soon. Don't know with who, haven't decided yet. I kind of feel like messing around with the guys, so we might just have a couple of my buddies in here. We might just kick it off and talk about some topics that are going on. Find something to talk about. So just want to thank everybody that's I'm always out and about and always have people stop me and they're always asking me how my podcast is going. But I do appreciate all the love and all the support. Like I said, doing this on your own sucks. Unless you're just really good at talking into camera. I'm really not, but it's something I can get better at the more I do it. A little bit more confident. I don't really care to get judged because everyone does dumb things. Everyone sounds stupid every now and then. That's how we learn. I make mistakes. I really don't care. I'm going to live and learn. So, oh well. But that'll do it for this episode of PubTalk. kicking around the bush about getting apparel or some merch. When I get a little more into this, might have to talk to Fresh Prince about getting some hats made for PubTalk, and I got a really cool design that I'm gonna have sketched up by one of my buddies. That's gonna be pretty cool, and I'll keep you guys informed if you would like to buy a hat. That's probably the only thing that I am gonna sell right off the get-go is just a couple hats to see. I don't think this is going to get real big, but if it does, that's cool. I'd love it because this, like I said, this is a super fun hobby. But now I'm getting boring, so I appreciate you guys. And that'll do it for this episode of Pub Talk. And I'm going to lead you out with this banger beat, baby.